Good morning. How are you today? Good, good. Nice sunny sun today. Thank you for having me again. It's a pleasure to be here and an honor to be here 10 years later. Great excuse for me to take a moment and look back and be thankful for what we have, what we've done together as a community. Yeah, I have slides, but I gave slides in Osaka. Maybe show some pictures from party last night and talk about community. But yeah, so maybe some slides I go fast. Oh. But I should say for some people that I have not met here, that I'm from Canada. I'm from the east coast of Canada, along the Atlantic Ocean. And very famous place for fishing for lobsters and shipbuilding. The town I'm from is called Lunenburg, and I recommend everyone here comes to visit me, at least once. Many people come visit and they stay for a week, my place. 1 week. Yeah, very relaxing. Good place to recharge batteries, my place. Yes. We don't get so much snow as compared to central Canada. Not as much snow because very moderate climate along the ocean. But you can't see, but, oh, do I have, oh. How do I use this? Huh? Oh. So you can't see my house here, and this is the deck, patio, and then here is a driveway, a very steep driveway, very decline, oh, very steep. So I have to shovel that by hand. Very far, maybe, I don't know, 100 meters like of snow by hand, shoveling. But, so keep in good shape. But much fog. This typical picture from my house. I go fast. But as Morrison introduced me, I'm here representing the Open Source Geospatial Foundation. I was named as president in December 2012, so it's an honor to represent the community as the president of OSGeo. I'm also very active in MapServer project. Some of you may have seen my name in documentation. I'm not so much developer as power user. That's what I describe myself, power user of MapServer. And to make money, I do MapServer consulting, based out of that beautiful spot that I said. So this is a slide I started recently, realizing that my presentation kind of boring. And people want to know more about me than just, you know, OSGeo president, blah, blah, blah. But I call myself a geographer. I'm a data person. I already said non-developer, frequent traveler, I guess. But I try many things in life. And I used to be a little embarrassed by that. So I started at university in civil engineering, did several years of engineering. Because in high school I was very good at math sciences, so they said, you must be engineer. And I'm like, well, okay. So I just went to university, too young, 17, 18, lived by myself. Disaster. Not that engineering wasn't for me or too hard or anything like that. It was just not right time for me, not right time. But I would, later in my educational career, I would actually do 3 years of registered nursing. So, yeah. My mother is a nurse for 40 years. So I followed in her footsteps. Yeah, and I actually have certification. So it's bizarre, but yes, a certified nurse. But and also I play 1 year of professional ice hockey. In fact, I play many years of ice hockey since I was 5 years old. So many years of ice hockey, and then I played 1 year in Oklahoma City, which is very Midwest United States. There they want to just see physical fighting and not much ice hockey. So yeah, I did that for 1 year. This doesn't have anything to do with my presentation, but I remember my first paycheck for ice hockey was $260 after tax. And I worked so hard for that $260, I said, what am I doing here? So it wasn't long after that I went back to school. But my middle brother played professional ice hockey for 20 years. And he's over 2 meters high, 2 meters high, 2 meters tall. So in North America, we say 6'8", 6'8". So whatever that converts to in meters, over 2 meters, yeah. So, yeah, so a big man. So now he's a policeman, so go figure. Yeah. Yeah, and how did I get here? You know, it all goes back to chicken wings and beer. The picture on the right there. Yeah, it's really true. I owe a lot to my career, to sitting down with Dave McKenna, who was at the time my boss at DM Solutions Group in Ottawa. And I sat down for a beer with him in pub, and I said, I've heard of this conference called FOSS4G in Bangkok. I want to go. I'm going to pay my way. And he was, as you know, many of you have met Dave. Dave came along on that trip, and he funded my travel that trip. I think actually maybe Orkney actually funded it or something like that. Yeah, but so I owe a lot to 2003 through people like Morrison and Dave, and then sitting down in Bangkok and meeting Marcus Nettler, meeting obviously Morrison, meeting Venkatesh Raghavan from Osaka State University. And there we talked about joining the map server community with the grass community. That was a really important time. We didn't really know at the time, but because of that meeting in about 2006, we started to join the event. Maybe 2005, but we called it a different event. But 2006 was the first FOSS4G event. Yeah. So an important moment in time that was. I'd like to take switch gears off that. So I could keep going on, but a lot of these pictures you've already seen. You've already heard of Morrison yesterday, I think, talk about this picture, Bangkok history. You know, I'd like to open up. This is where I get bold, but, you know, to talk about what, and maybe okay, maybe I type. So, you know, what is FOSS4G? You know? What is it, you know? So like I said, I have 60 slides, but I think maybe we just take a moment and think, why are we here? What is FOSS4G? We know what it stands for, but I mean, I would say it's sharing. It's friendships. It's fun. What else is it? It's learning. It's workshops. Right? Really, what is FOSS4G? What separates FOSS4G than every other event? And I always think of workshops, hands-on workshops. Not only just workshops, you know, workshops by the experts, such as, Sylvia, whoa, spell wrong, Andrea, from Geopaparazzi. How great is it to have Geopaparazzi here and learn? And even me, myself, didn't know much about Geopaparazzi, but they pressure me. Jeff, install Geopaparazzi on your Android. Download the data, Now I go home to Canada and I will do that, I will. So, I've learned also here. And I think, yes, sharing, learning, friendships, workshops, fun. Of course, fun means beer party. But, yeah, I think that's what FOSS4G is for me and what it's become. Well, you don't really see this written anywhere, But we all know that. People who have been to FOSS4G before. We know that's what this is. And that's why we keep coming back and back and back. Yeah. What can I show you? Well, what else? Whoa, very difficult to... Very busy desktop I have. Someone says, how do you work, people say. Whoa, it was all nice and together before, but... Whoa, I don't know if this works. Open with... Whoa. Okay, maybe it'll work. Maybe this works. So that, maybe ignore. So, okay. So we have some pictures about the fun and the family and FOSS4G. At FOSS4G Osaka, I with the guests Sylvia and Andrew, we visited Venka's home, and that's his two girls there. And ignore my face, too many beer maybe. But just a few great pictures. Again, fun, family, friendships. This picture is a moment in time that I'll always remember. This is in Osaka, Minnow Brewery, after going through a 14-kilometer hike, and a moment where we took a picture. So great. And I just get off plane. Just step off plane, just meet them, and in famous Korean shop by OCU. This is... And again, just pictures and memories that I take away from FOSS4G events. Yeah. What else do I want to show you? I want to talk a little bit about, okay, what is FOSS4G? We did that. Whoa. And then also, how many here realize that there's a part of every FOSS4G logo? Like there's a requirement. Yeah, when I say FOSS4G logo, well, like the Soul logo, right? What do we see there? Well, there's the ribbon, right? And I want to talk a little about the ribbon. So this is actually a very specific requirement if you're going to hold a FOSS4G global or regional event. We like to include this ribbon. And I'll show you some more pictures. We're wearing ribbon right now. You see the ribbon there also. And this was Central Eastern Europe FOSS4G in 2013 in Bucharest, Romania. And you can see very basic ribbon there also. So you can see that the ribbon is used in many FOSS4Gs, including the upcoming event in Como. You can see this is a very unique way of using it, the ribbon. So what is the ribbon? Okay, what is FOSS4G? What is the FOSS4G ribbon? So, the history of the ribbon, not discussed very often or written anywhere in any document. In about 2000 and in 2004 or 5, I can remember sitting down with a fellow from DM Solutions Group named Fred Warnock, and he's their graphic designer. We were making a logo for an event in 2004. That's it, 2004. And we came up with the ribbon as a way to show, you know, the flow of ideas through community. Cool. You know, that's how I remember. We sat down talking about, well, what is the ribbon? Why should we have the ribbon as part of the logo? And I remember it, like a flow of ideas and sharing. I mean, that's through the years how in my head, but that's how I remember how we came up with that. And it's now become that logo, that initial logo is part. This ribbon is part of every FOSS4G event. So, so not only so that's part of what FOSS4G is. It's fun, it's learning, and then also there's the ribbon that symbolizes this fun and flow of ideas and community. Oh, that's interesting. So now I go back to presentation, and we talk a little bit about what is community, and then I'm representing the Open Source Geospatial Foundation, where our goal is to support and promote the use and development of open source geospatial software. And there's ways to sponsor the conference, the events, the community, the foundation. You can sponsor also projects. And I always talk about Quantum GIS as being one of the most visible projects in OSGeo. And I just want to point out as part of this presentation how important these charter members are in the foundation. So we talk about what is FOSS4G and what is OSGeo, and then really these 244 charter members of the Open Source Geospatial Foundation are really, really important. And we have many, many members here as part of this conference. And this past year in September, we added a large amount, actually 64 members, charter members to OSGeo. So that's great news. Yeah. And then I should just briefly mention that the foundation, in the foundation, there are many projects, web mapping projects, libraries, metadata, catalogs, desktop, GIS, and then also important are projects that are in the pipeline, that are coming into OSGeo. So they go through a process of code review and a legal process, and you can see several examples there. And that's sort of the requirements. Role of local chapters obviously are very important in our foundation. I'd like to take a little step away from that for a second, and oh, I see a logo on my desktop here, and this is a cute one. This is my favorite logo, one of my favorite. This is for FOSS4G Asia, which is next month. So it's in Bangkok, and so this is a tuk-tuk. And then you can see the cool use of the ribbon. And actually on the website, they actually describe the logic behind this. Can anyone remember? Yoshi-san, you remember the wording of why the tuk-tuk was used? It was, no? Oh. Anyone? Anyone know why? I think it was, you know, lightweight, easy to customize, like, you know, many people can jump in. I forget, it's written on the website. It's really interesting. I recommend you check it out. Yeah. What else to show you? Oh, I see pictures. Beer party 1, beer party 2, beer party. Oh, just battery. Yeah. So, yes. So, just some friends we met last night. Beer party pictures. I was quite happy to meet Mayumi from FOSS4G Hokkaido, right? One of the organizers. Ah, she's here. I have to be careful what I say. Yeah, great picture, right? It's just a wonderful event last night. I'm really thankful to be here. It was very fun. Of course, I've been to FOSS4G Tokyo many years, and last night very fun, very fun, and great to see Gio Paparazzi take part in the lightning talk. Yes. Don't really know the point of that, but other than just saying that, I had a lot of fun. There's, that's a good picture. Yeah. Oh, a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Back to my presentation, serious presentation. A lot of the presentation I was going through all the events, but we looked at all the logos. I should mention that in July, there'll be a FOSS4G Europe in Como, Italy. And of course, we've heard about next year's event in Seoul. OSGeo is very active in giving out awards and also helping students through the OSGeo Summer, the Google Summer of Code. We're very thankful for, I know thankful, but we realize how important the service providers, these are professional companies, locally, internationally, offering support through small and large organizations. This is a slide just talking about like what's happening in OSGeo right now. What's the foundation doing? Well, we're actually there's a lot of energy and partnerships building right now with other foundations. That's really what's happening. And one of them is we just signed a memorandum of understanding with the ISPRS, the International Society for Photogrammetry and Remote Sensing. And some people wonder, well, what does a handshake MOU mean? Well, it brings the communities together in the long run. Maybe we hold an event together someday. There's talk of that. And then maybe some sharing of, who knows, data. They're already publishing data. They wanted us to use it in workshops, et cetera, et cetera. So those are important, although it looks like just a political thing, signing documents and handshakes. But in the long run, it's really helpful. And there's, in July, I was actually in Africa, and I met with the International Cartographic Association president on the left side. That's George Gardner. Yeah, he's very, very, very important person, and he's very, very pro-OSGeo, and really respects our community and what we do, and he really wants to work with us. That's what I get from George. I just met him that trip. Really nice guy. He said I was his bodyguard in Africa. And one night, well, he'd probably hate me talking about this, but one night he said, Jeff, will you walk me back to my, it was kind of maybe a little dangerous area, the hotel in Cape Town. And he said, Jeff, will you walk us back? This is ISPRS President Dr. Chen. And I said, sure, I'll walk you guys back. So their hotel was over this little walking bridge. And it was a very dark bridge. And it was midnight. And so I walked them back to their hotel and then say goodnight. And then I turn around and I'm going to walk back to my hotel across this small dark bridge. And I thought, who's walking me home? Anyway, and we had a good laugh about that next day. But great friendships building with other communities. I do want to thank everyone in this room, the local community here in Japan, for all of the things that you've done these last 10 years, including bringing international speakers, community members, bringing community together. I can't think of any or many other local communities that do that as well as OSGeo Japan. really keeping in mind the whole world global community and bringing everyone together for events like this by bringing in international representatives. Really, really great. As part of my 10-year history here, I worked on a project that was involved with several local Osaka and community universities, etc. And we worked on OSGeo.4W. And a little part of history there, a little project team meeting slide with Hayashi-san, Yoshida-san. And out of that came the OSGeo.4W installer became internationalized, accepting Japanese characters, etc. So that's great. And then I should note that through Orkney, I actually worked on this project also that map server was enhanced in about 2004 or 5, somewhere around there, earlier. Anyway, yeah. So a lot of thanks goes to this local community for that. This is a cute story that I told in Osaka that as I was preparing for the workshop, packaging for Tokyo and Osaka, so I'm back in Canada and I found that labeling crashes map server on Windows. In fact, it was crashing on Unix as well in map server 7.0. So about midnight before I flew out, someone fixed it. In fact, you can't see it, but this is a little icon of Evan from France. He fixed this. So it's just a little nice thing that happened that comes out of an event like this, that some improvements in software. You didn't even realize that was happening. But if this event never happened, would I have found that bug? Who knows? Maybe not, or maybe too late, and it would have been in 7.2 or something fixed. So really great. A lot of good things come out of this event. I've had a lot of good times, many good memories here, a lot of funny stories, met a lot of people, a lot of friends, and I don't think this is the end at all. And I expect another great 10 years of friendships with FOSS4G Japan. And I really appreciate for having me here and listening to me talk, seeing some beer party slides. Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. And I hope to be back soon. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you very much.
Sorry for a very mixed up presentation.